Hi Scorpio, welcome to your mid-December 2020 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. So this is going to be a reading that is covering the eclipse on December 14th. And for you Scorpio, this is occurring in the second house of earned income. So this may be some kind of new, I don't know, route or era in your life for the money that you earn. Maybe there's some kind of new income streams that come your way, or anything that opportunities to make money. And so I think that's very good for you with money, and Venus is going into this sector. I have already done an astrological reading for Scorpio for December, so you can check my channel if you haven't seen that or heard that yet, because I don't have all the dates in front of me of when when Venus is going into Sag, but I know it is in December. So this is very exciting. And actually, you know, why am I saying going in, like I'm doing this in November? I'm doing this in December, so it's kind of funny. I'm acting like it's still November. Well, there we go. I get the Death card. This is your card, so that should be good for you. Definite change to your finances of some sort. Okay, but this looks like almost more like a relationship situation. So the heart of the matter is the Death card, which is associated with Scorpio. And you know, I think somebody mentioned, I don't know if this is true, about the white rose, maybe that representing the new beginnings, or the slate being wiped clean, the purity that comes from all of the decay and the death, you know. And, you know, that's one thing to mention about eclipses, is that they shake things up. And so when you have a sign like Scorpio that is a fixed sign, there tends to be this love of continuity. And when things are not, you know, happening with that same continuity, it can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, because it's just so much a part of who you are, is to have things endure. And it's understandable, that's a human emotion or attitude, but everything is temporary. So whatever is leaving your life, you can bless it, don't cling to it. And if it does have something to do with the eclipses, which can be beyond your control, but also your intention, where it's happening and you say, hey, I didn't ask for that, that you are able to welcome it with open arms. And one of the things in listening to other astrologers is that they often talk about, like even with the solar eclipse, that it is something that brings change. So sometimes it can even feel like endings, even with the solar eclipse. And so with this affecting your money house, and obviously there's, well, I'm saying obviously, but there are actually two money houses, and the one of them is the house that you rule, Scorpio, the 8th house, which is shared resources. But we're talking here about the second house that Sag rules. And in this particular house, if there's some kind of a shakeup, the solar eclipse is bringing you even more possibilities. And sometimes in the short term, we can have these very, you know, kind of negative attitudes that feel because of fear, you know, like, I don't want change. I just want what I had before. But if you look back on some times of your life where things happened that were beyond your control, you may be able to say, wow, yeah, I am so glad that I did not cling to this area of life because I feel so much better about things. I feel like I'm in such a better place because of that. In the past position, we have the Ace of Swords, and so this is a card of seeing the light, maybe coming out of a sense of denial over something in your life, and it, that clarity that it brings, being something that really feels good, like you can move forward. And so that's why I said relationships earlier on, because a lot of times with the Death card and that Ace of Swords, I think about coming to terms with a relationship that may be over, and thinking about how hard Scorpios love, and knowing that it's like a ferocity, and it can be very difficult to admit that to oneself when something is over. It can feel like a death, And the other thing too is, if this is related to work, the same kind of thing. I think that for some of you, you may have somebody who is, if this is like a boss, who is like kind of a bully, a tyrant, the King of Wands in reverse, controlling. And this person, you realize it's toxic to your well-being, you can't be around that, it's just not good for you. And so this kind of person you might want to be away from because of how it affects you. And coming to terms with that. Sometimes it's difficult to come to terms with this because there are other factors. Maybe you like your coworkers, maybe you like the work that you do, or the company itself, but it's the person who runs it, and maybe this is a new person. So you had like a good run of things, and then there was a change in management, and it just is really unbearable, This could even be your own father. This is a situation where perhaps I want to think about something. Yeah, like if you have realized something about your past, that your father was, a certain way towards you, and maybe you're connecting it to what I'm trying to say is other areas of your life you're trying to kind of connect to. And by the way, speaking about that, you are going to have in the second half of the month, Jupiter and Saturn going into your 4th house of home and family. So that can bring some blessings, but it can also bring some stark self-analysis about your childhood, and coming to terms with parental figures who may have not been as positive on your life as possible. Sometimes when we're younger and we have a parent who may be very controlling, but they're also very charismatic, like a narcissistic personality. A lot of times the reason that these people get away with what they do is because they have a lot of charisma. And as children, if this is a parent or a parental figure, this person may seem like you may be like under their sway and feel like they're a god or something. And as you get older, you begin to see their all too human characteristics, and it can take a long time to fully grasp the person's ability to, manipulate or whatever. In this case, it's more like domineering tendencies. And if this is a relationship, then this would be your partner or your ex. If you have already left this marriage or relationship, it might be a literal fire sign. So Leo is the one that forms a square to you. Sag is a fire sign, and Aries is a fire sign. And you might find that this person, at first you may have thought that it was love because they were so controlling, and that meant that they were totally obsessed. And because Scorpio tends to be so obsessive yourselves, you might have confused that with love when it was really about control. So these things you might, be gaining clarity, and that's what the Ace of Swords is, so that you can move forward. The higher message, last card of the Major Arcana, the World card, endings. The end of an era, the end of a chapter in your life. So the ability to realize this. Now, I just want to say, giving you a little preview of 2021, is that in 2021, there is going to be a lunar eclipse. This is going to be in November of 2021 in Taurus, the opposite sign of Scorpio. So that will oppose the Sun in Scorpio. It will oppose you and your relationship, your 7th house. That will be in your 7th house. So, and that's a general prediction that it will be in your 7th house. And that's the house of relationships. So that's kind of ushering in for 2022 the eclipses in Scorpio, in your sign, and Taurus. So the fact that, I get the World card now, yes, it is premature in a certain sense. However, it is kind of a harbinger for things to come. And the other thing too is that Uranus is in Taurus, so that is opposing Scorpio, and that is in your 7th house. And that is like indicating maybe sudden breaks from committed relationships, a sudden desire for freedom in relationships that you don't typically have. Oh, why am I holding up that card again? Okay, because usually I don't do it in that order. That's why it's like kind of a reptilian brain there. What's coming in are the advice, King of Cups. Look at how we have 2 kings, 2 authority figures. This two potential relationships with these types of people, but a bit of a difference. Upright King of Cups, challenged King of Wands. King of Cups can be a literal water sign, another Scorpio, a Pisces, a Cancer. They may be older than you, but they're mature. Whether they're younger than you, your age, or older, they're mature. So emotional maturity with cups. Somebody who doesn't use emotions as a weapon, whether it means, trying to manipulate people by guilting them, shaming them, scaring them, or by their, any kind of bad behavior, trying to control people. This person is, because your water sign, Scorpio, is in tune with you. Now, if this is a new boss, you will attract a new boss who will be simpatico, or, who will sympathize with your emotional nature, that you will understand it, will be empathic. And this is the kind of leader, if you are working for somebody else, that you will, that you want to attract. This could be a facet of you, though, that you are becoming emotionally mature, emotionally sovereign. When I think of kings and queens, I think of sovereignty. And the other thing, too, is that this can represent a counselor. So it might be a time, if you are experiencing major change in your life, that you talk to somebody if you don't have that kind of a positive sounding board, so that you can navigate the changes with a lot of grace. And the outcome is Page of Cups. This card connects to Pisces because of the fish. But this is so great for Scorpio, because one of the things that Page of Cups represents is the child, but sometimes the naivete of children. And so sometimes, this can represent that the person is being fooled, like even in the upright position. However, with the Ace of Swords, that's indicating that you are aware of what is happening. So you are not likely to get fooled by somebody. As a matter of fact, you see things as they are, but with the Page of Cups, you're not becoming cynical. This is like a good thing for Scorpios, because sometimes Scorpios, when they have negative experiences, it just makes them paranoid. It makes them have trust issues. And then they can't let down their guard. But this is like you approaching, if this is a new relationship with somebody, you have the eyes of a child. So you're, approaching them with a trusting attitude, not with this overly suspicious attitude. This could be a new career, if this is like a new career thing that has some kind of a healing component, artistic component, and maybe that's the direction that you're going in. Maybe you've come from something that was more associated with your mind, like a linear type of a thing, and perhaps that had its place in a certain time in your life, but now you're ready to kind of express yourself artistically or spiritually. Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio, and I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, a natal chart interpretation, looking at the 2021, whatever, I sound like a Valley girl, whatever. Click on the link below to find out more information, and I will be back at the end for the end of the month. So have a great solar eclipse in Sag. Talk to you later. Bye.